the Gulf area, we would have been in much deeper trouble. But now we're adjusted to it.
Let's talk for a minute about alternative sources of energy. I know that Saudi Arabia has put a lot of money in the past into solar energy. I know also that you have been trying to shift the use of fossil fuels from just burning oil into converting it into pharmaceutical products. Would you like to address these 2 points?
Well, yes. Like I said in the beginning, we're partnering with lots of powerhouses in science and technology to find an alternative fuel. In the University of Arizona, this is the university I graduated from. Way back, we have built a research center for the solar energy purpose and research of that. We have partnered with the car manufacturers, engine manufacturers, that is, to see if the hybrid cars how can it be improved. We have also with the alternative energy. We don't go for the renewable energy right now, because a lot of people, when they hear about ethanol burns very well. It's clean energy, but not too many people know that we have to burn a lot of fossil fuel to make the ethanol. So this is something very simple but very important from the formula, and it makes it also very expensive to do that. But we go for the natural energy, the wind energy, the hydro energy, and also the solar energy in that. So we are in that, and we're trying to lessen the dependence on oil itself. Some of the oil company, one of them is BP, British Petroleum, have started, and we're following that too in Saudi Arabia, the so-called Beyond Petroleum. What do we do? Because we know that someday the world will run off that fossil fuel and the gas and what have you. So we're up there with the rest of the world, or the oil companies for that matter.
Yes, but if you run out of fossil fuels, then you in Saudi Arabia have a major problem. Yeah. Firstly, 95% of your income is gone. Secondly, you don't even have enough water. At the moment, you're making water by burning oil for desalinization.
Right.
How are you going to get water?
Well, we're blessed by the Arabian Gulf. We call it Arabian Gulf. If we have any Iranians in here, they would object to that. They like to hear it, the Persian Gulf. And we have the Red Sea from the other side. And desalination is just nothing but using the seawater to make drinkable water, and also produce energy in the form of electricity. We do have lots of basic petrochemical manufacturing, which is depending on the oil itself. We have created one of the largest petrochemical companies in the world. It's called SABIC, the basic industry for petrochemicals. And so our dependence is shifting from on the fossil fuel as a fuel to the petrochemical. Two, we are in the business of making right now, because of the kingdom. I didn't mention that about the kingdom. We have what you have rain in one day, probably we have it in a whole year. We have an average of 1 to 2 inches of rain in that whole 2 million square kilometers year round. We do not have any running streams or any rivers in the kingdom, and therefore and this is no joke, the bottled water here, it costs more than the gasoline that you put in your car in the kingdom. And I'm saying that because we subsidize gasoline there. But we are paying attention, more attention to to other sources of income other than the fossil fuel.
Other than oil, the Islamic heritage of Saudi Arabia is of great interest to us in the United States, particularly because of something called the Sharia, that's a Islamic law. And that worries us, and it should worry you and me also, because the Sharia says, for example, that all men must have a beard and must not have a mustache. So I will go to hell because I don't have a beard, but you will go to hell twice because you do not have a beard and you do have a mustache. And so talk to me about the importance of the Sharia as a way of life and of legal custom in Saudi Arabia and in its region. You are, after all, the center of the Muslim world, the absolute center, because of Makkah and Medina.
Yeah, I never thought about it that way, you know, about the mustache and the beard. But I guess I am going to hell there. The thing is, you know, Sharia is like the word jihad used. Jihad used as a dirty word, and it was made as a dirty word. And I tell you, jihad, if we come to, if the student in this room go on time, do their work, succeed to the best of they can, that's jihad. That's really the interpretation of jihad. But you can interpret it any way you want to. And here we come back to the Sharia. Sharia is an interpretation of the Quran. And you can go 180 degrees interpreting the word of Quran to the way you want to. I read, I didn't read a lot, I'm not a theologian, but I'm interested in theology. And I read the Bible, the book of John, which is the middle of the things. And I see the interpretation, or I listen to people, you know, some preachers, you know, those Sunday morning preachers on television, the evangelists and things, the way they explain the book of John, I don't see it. So it's the interpretation of the people. We have clerks, clergymen in the kingdom and in the Arab world and Muslim world. They explain it the way they like to think. And so whenever you explain any book of God or any of these books, it depends on how you see it. And there could be a lot of mistake of what you're interpreting. And there are some mistakes in the Sharia, and the only people now in a big institution in the kingdom, and Al-Azhar mosque and other Al-Zaytuna, we don't have Al-Zaytuna anymore in Morocco, but these are interpretation of the word of God. And sometimes a human being say, I made a mistake, I'm just a human being, I'm interpreting this in the wrong way. And that's what we want, that's what we promote right now. Sharia is the making of knowledgeable people, but it's not the Quran.
We can accept that cultural diversity is a part of the structure of the world.
Right.
That is understandable. But what is not understandable is when a significant percentage of the population interprets that cultural diversity as a justification for going out and killing and burning and pillaging.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Yeah.
And you can't deny that the whole world has been completely upset by what may be a minority, but it's a minority which draws its source from the legality of the religion and interprets it as a justification for killing and purging.
Well, it's unfortunate, yes, that very minority group became very vocal and very active and very terrorizing to the rest of us. But we have to stand up, and the majority of us, and stand against that. I think a lot of